we're just kind of curious to hear your stories. What made you think about doing the procedure, and how has it been for you since? If you can tell us a little bit about that. Who wants to start?
Well, I started out, I have always had bags under my eyes, and I just finally worked up enough nerve to say, okay, I'm going to get these taken care of. And I think that's how mine started. I was going to do a little Botox, talk about getting the bags under my eyes taken care of, and it just turned into a magic lift.
Nice.
I was feeling like I was older than I was, or that I looked older. I always had this resting face that people would say, what's the matter with you? Why are you so mad? And it really wasn't. But it looked like I was mad, especially as I got older, and especially with more wrinkles, kind of gathering on the side, and the jowls kind of sagging. And I thought, this is going to be the perfect thing for me, and it was.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you don't want to project a feeling you're not feeling, especially a negative
Right.
one.
I
You don't
mean,
want.
especially with, when people would always say, what's the matter? And I'd say nothing. But I think since I've had it, I feel like I don't have that grimace anymore. I feel like, and especially right between the eyes, that really helped that area. And not to mention the sagging face and the wrinkles, and I think that for the first time, someone recently just said to me, you don't look your age. How old are you? And I said how old I am, and they said you don't look your age at all.
And I bet nobody says, "Are you angry?" anymore.
I haven't heard it yet. You're right. You're right.
Right. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it was a feeling of always looking tired when I looked into the mirror. So after having it done, I think the beauty of the Magic Lift is that it's not such a huge difference or change. It's very subtle because, the comment is made, oh, you look very well rested. So for me, that's what I loved about it, is that it was very subtle, but yet noticeable.
Right, and you didn't come out of it looking like another person.
Correct.
Or something that when you hear plastic surgery, you hear facelift, you always think, how am I gonna look grotesque? Is my face gonna move? How will I appear to people who, I don't really want people to know that I've had something done.
Right.
So as opposed to a regular facelift, this was exactly that. It was subtle and wasn't a shock to anyone until, the red wore off. But yeah.
Does it take a few days then for that effect?
I think I went into hiding for 4 days, 4 or 5.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to a surgical facelift, not bad.
Right.
Yeah, when I had the Magic Lift done, I did not have any bruising. I did not have any.
Wow.
I did not have any bruising.
Wow.
I don't think I really had any swelling.
Huh.
But everybody's different. Every time is different. I think one of the main things is that it doesn't look like a drastic change, so your friends and people don't even know that you've had it done. My own husband doesn't even realize when I come home and I've had filler, which is good.
Right. That's a good
You don't
thing.
want to go to the point where you look like you have to have maintenance done.
Right.
And I also had people say, "Wow, you look really good. What have you done?" I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
No one needs to know.
Nobody needs to know.
Right.
I
Right.
just am happy.
Yeah. The glow. Right. Oh,
Yeah,
nice glow.
yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I did have some bruising, not a lot. Makeup covered most of it. But I think, too, that Allure has grown in giving advice on what to do beforehand and what works best after. I know the medical assistant that was in with me, informed me not to take certain medications. Pineapple was another good one that you could take. So they're really learning and growing as they do the process as well.
So there's even foods that kind of you can tailor.
Anti-inflammatories.
Oh, okay.
Pineapple is very good for pineapple juice. Very good for
Interesting.
healing.
Ah.
Bruising.
Okay. That does sound a lot better than a traditional surgical kind where you'd be out the count for who knows how long.
Well, yeah, and I think that when you go in if someone was new, they'd go in for a consultation, they would tell them, don't have it done, 2 days before, 3 days before, just in case you do get a bruise.
Right.
And
right.
it's not like your whole face is bruised. You might have a bruise near where they injected or,
Yeah, don't do it the day before your
Don't do
wedding.
Right. Do it a week or two
Your daughter's
before.
wedding. Yeah.
Do it a
Right.
week or two before,
Right,
exactly.
right.
So,
That makes sense.
Another thing I liked, I'm sorry,
That's right. No?
the knowledge of the staff at Allure is so vast, and there were so many people who knew exactly what their job was at that point, and what to do, and it was very professional. I felt nervous, obviously, because I was, having a procedure done, but they made me feel so much more at ease than I thought.
And was it just one visit then? Or was there more than one?
It's all done in one visit.
Oh,
The magic
Yes.
lift.
right,
is,
the magic
yes.
lift. Mhm.
Yes.
So you walk out of there and it's done. When you go back and have other procedures like the Fraxel or
Mhm.
the Dermapen or the, what's the other one?
Damage.
The which?
Altera or
I didn't have
Damage.
that
And
one.
the PRP.
PRP.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So when you go back and you have additional enhancements, if you will, like the PRP or the Fraxel or the Dermapen, which really helped me, I think it just boosts that look even further.
Okay. So those are sort of add-ons that you can do.
Yeah, Fraxel, when I had mine done, it's radio frequency, I believe it is, but the end result is that it is for resurfacing your skin, so it'll help
Okay.
get rid of blemishes, brown spots, little scars from acne or whatever you might have had.
Mhm.
And that, you do need some downtime. I wouldn't recommend having a very robust social life after you've had a Fraxel for at least probably 10 days.
Okay.
It's a laser. It feels like it's scraping your skin. It's not, though. They're not cutting your skin. Your skin will get real red, your little swollen feeling, real warm, hot.
Mhm.
After the first hour or two, the warmth or hotness went away, and then your skin gets very dry, flakes, peels.
Oh.
Like a sunburn.
And then after, yeah,
Okay.
like a bad sunburn. After that, probably 10 days, it is so nice. It's just beautiful, gorgeous skin. And it just keeps regenerating, and collagen keeps growing for another, next year.
That's nice. So actually this treatment can even build on itself then, because you're
Oh,
building
yes.
that collagen.
Oh,
and
yes. Helps get rid of those little tiny lines.
Ah.
Yes.
So how long does it take to feel the full effect, to see the full effect then? Does it it's a gradual process?
Well, a magic lift.
It's about a couple weeks, I want to say, for myself. It can, that's when you go back and they assess, the work that's been done to make sure it's exactly how they had anticipated the results to be, and to make sure that you're happy with it as well. And then, that's when I noticed it the most, is after a couple weeks. It was like, oh, wow, you can really tell.
You can tell on your skin.
Yeah.
Your magic lift, when I left, I knew I had it. My face looked different, so it filled in more.
Mm-hmm.
The Fraxel and the skin rejuvenation, yeah, that takes a couple weeks.
That does, but again, just to reiterate, the staff is wonderful. They talk you through each step before they do it, what to expect, what to concentrate on, because sometimes with the Fraxel, you do feel it a little bit, but I was really impressed by the team when I did have mine done. I think the big thing, though, for any procedure you have done with your face is using the products afterwards. They recommend what works best for your skin type, how to maintain all the work that you've had done. So I'm a believer in that as well.
Mm-hmm. Keep the glow going.
That's right.
Keep the
Basically.
glow going, yes.
Yeah.
When you first have it done, it takes a while for you to start to heal, and it took me, I didn't look at it the next day and say, oh my gosh, it's completely different. So it takes time, especially when you're looking at your own face every day. But when I saw the before and after pictures, I was blown away. I thought this is really amazing.
Yeah, especially that cumulative effect a couple
Mhm.
months down the line.
You notice, I think, in the mornings when you're getting dressed and you're getting makeup on, it's like, oh, wow, I'm looking really good today.
Or yeah, if you don't want to put makeup on that
Yeah,
day,
if you
think,
don't want
I don't
to.
need it.
With the Fraxel, it was noticeably different. I always have bad skin to begin with, so once I had a Fraxel,
I would
oh
never
my
guess
gosh.
that looking at you now.
Oh, what a difference it made.
Really?
Highly recommend it.
Wow. So what was that the biggest for you of the overall Magic Lift procedure? Was that the biggest?
Yes. No, because the bags under my eyes were
Okay,
really
right.
quite pronounced. So between that and a Fraxel, yeah. Yeah.
I think one of the amazing things that happened in the room is they did one side of my face first.
Oh,
And then, they held up the mirror and it was instant. You could tell the difference
Mhm.
right away. And you don't realize it unless you can see it
Mhm.
side by side like that.
interesting.
Yes, because the eyebrows are higher. You
Mhm.
could just tell how it had lifted more.
Mhm.
Just taking that tired look away instantly.
Mhm.
So,
I think the biggest difference for me was that I had filler in places that I hadn't ever had it before, and I didn't really realize I needed it until it was done, especially on the one side. But up through here, and the lack of wrinkles now, and even the nasolabial folds. I mean, I look at my before picture and I cringe. It's like, oh, wow, I really did need this. And I actually got my lips enhanced, and I'd never had those before. And it's really fun now to have fuller lips. I always had pencil thin
Oh, yeah.
lips, and it's just different. It's fun, and people kind of look at me, and I'm like, I don't
Right.
want to say, oh, I'm but it's a different look. It was something I wasn't really planning on when I had the Magic Lift, but I thought they said, would you like to go ahead and have your lips done? I said, yeah, why not?
I mean, why not? Exactly.
Right.
You're there.
And they
correct.
don't look ropey or twisty or anything.
Right.
They look natural, and that's what I really like.
Yeah, I think that's what I feel too about the Magic Lift. When I see the before and after shots, it's a natural enhancement. You look more like you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think one thing people ask a lot of me is, well, you don't look like you've had anything done. Well, I agree, because I don't want that look.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that do the injections at Allure, the providers, they don't go overboard. They do what you want. They're not going to do what they want and just keep filling your face or your lips or
Mm-hmm.
doing too much. And they talk to you. It's a decision. It's not, okay, this is what we think you need. We're going to do it. It doesn't work that way.
And if something isn't exactly symmetrical, they'll tweak it, a
Touch it
couple
up,
weeks
couple
later or
weeks
whatever. Once
after.
everything settles in, they'll fix it for you to make it look like it's completely natural
Oh.
and you hadn't had any work done.
That is nice. And actually, I mean, most of us have naturally asymmetrical faces
Absolutely.
anyway, so then you can
Correct.
finally fix that, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to a couple people where they've had, where it's prominent that the cheeks aren't the same or the folds, and the Magic Lifts can correct that too.
Mm-hmm.
I can see where that would make a big psychological difference, looking at yourself in the
Huge.
mirror.
Mhm.
All these years you felt a little bit slanted.
Huge,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
When I looked in the mirror, I felt like I saw my grandma. I saw pictures of my grandmother from, when she was younger even, but I felt like I looked so old, especially right here. And you don't realize it again day to day until you see pictures of yourself, and it's astounding the difference.
Hmm. And especially in this age of Instagram and Facebook, and now you see photos of yourself all over, whereas
Mhm.
before I never used to. I'm not
Mhm.
really a photo person,
Right.
but now I always come across, and you go, oh.
I've had people say, well, how do you know to go back for more? Well, Magic Lift, those can last a good year, sometimes, 8 months. It depends on the person.
Mhm.
But I will say for Botox, if I'm getting dressed in the morning, putting makeup on, and I'm thinking, man, I'm looking frumpy, and I'll think, oh, I need Botox right here to lift my eyebrows.
It's time, right?
It's time. I
Wow.
can start making angry eyes.
Kind of it's a body function. You kind of,
It
it's just
is.
a clock goes off in your head and you say, yeah, I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
So do you wind up feeling more peaceful then when you realize that you can't look as angry? Does it make you actually internalize peace and therefore become more peaceful?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I would think
no,
it
I
would.
think that.
It's more than that too. It's a confidence builder.
Yeah.
To know that when you look in the mirror, you really feel good about what's looking back at you, and that's what I like about it.
It's nice that people can't see you make angry eyes all the time when you don't want them
Mm-hmm.
to. Sometimes I don't need to be read like an open book.
Right.
So then once you've had the Magic Lift done, then it sounds like it's kind of a maintenance thing if you wanted to in the future
It is.
revisit certain areas.
But it's not a lot of maintenance. It's only when you feel like you might need a little, extra here or there. It's not something you have to go in to maintain every week or every month or anything like that.
Okay, so it'd be kind of, like you said, last at least a year, right, initially, and then,
The fillers do, yeah.
Mhm.
And if you go along and 6 or 8 months later you're thinking, I wish my cheeks were a little more full, or maybe my temples need to be filled in, or I'd like the corners of my mouth to be up a little bit more. You go in and you talk to them about it. They
Mhm.
can help you with that.
Kind of get to be your own expert than your
Kind of
own.
like a touch-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
longer lasting touch up.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And it, again, it's not surgical to the point where you're out. You know,
Mhm.
you don't have to be put under anesthesia. You're awake. You're talking. You're cognizant of what's happening during the
Mhm.
whole thing. And it really only, for me, it didn't take that long at all. It was not a huge procedure like an all-day event. I drove home. I had, no issues, and just a little recovery time, like I said. But
So just a few hours does it
Mhm.
take to have it
Mhm.
done? Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, you're just gonna have a couple, I mean, when you get a shot, it's an injection, so it's gonna
Mhm.
be where the needle went in, it's gonna be a little bit swollen.
Mm-hmm.
But the next morning, even later that day, within a couple hours, you can't tell.
So when you first have a consultation for Magic Lift, do you kind of look at a photo of yourself at the time and tell your, the Allure staff what you'd like? Do you kind of map it out together?
Well, actually, I was asked to look into a mirror, and, what do you see when you look in the mirror?
Mhm.
What do you want to fix? It was more generated on what I didn't like about what I was seeing.
Mhm.
Ah,
Do
And
you-
that's the beauty of it, yeah.
Do you feel like you're sad? Do you feel like you're angry? Do you feel like you look tired? Yes, yes, yes. And whatever the issue is, that's what the Magic Lift can contour itself to correct.
I like the mapping out
Mhm.
idea. Mhm.
Once again, it
Mhm.
goes to the providers asking you, okay, what don't you like, what do you wanna change?
Right.
Not saying, okay, we think you need this.
Right,
That's
no.
not the approach.
I like that because, I was just thinking the only thing I could compare it to is a hair salon where you look through those fancy images and those crazy hairstyles and you say, oh, I want to look like this person. So I'm glad that with Magic Lift to hear that it's more, how do you want to look better according to your desires and not trying to look like someone else.
Right,
Right.
I didn't want Angelina Jolie lips.
I was
Right.
just gonna say,
Right.
my expectations couldn't be that high.
Right, but it did provide what it was fun actually to see after,
Mm-hmm.
because I was so afraid to always have my lips done, but I'm not gonna not have them done now. I'll probably always get them done,
Right.
because now I know what they look like and what they feel like, and
It's the ultimate beauty bar because you're
Mhm.
not having to be put out or anything. It's
Right.
almost
right,
just as nice and fun
breeze
to.
in, breeze out.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you're all very happy with your choice then.
Very
Yes.
happy.
Have you known other people who have had, or have you had any experience with the surgical type that was done before? Do you know anyone who could compare that experience?
A surgical facelift?
Yeah, face.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
visual.
I do, and I think those people still end up. I've known a couple that have had that, and have actually, a couple years later, gone back and gotten a Magic Lift.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't, facelifts can pull and tuck everything, but they don't plump it up.
Mhm.
They don't
Right.
plump it up, and that's what a Magic Lift does. It plumps up your cheeks. It
Mhm.
fills in some valleys or gullies in your, plumps up a little bit
Hollow
here.
areas.
Hollow areas.
And then
that's
it
the word I was looking
continues.
for.
To enhance your face, because the collagen is getting restored with the,
Mhm.
with the PRP and with the, what's the other?
Fraxel and Dermapen.
The Dermapen, yeah, the Dermapen and the Fraxel and the PRP as an enhancement to the,
Yeah, especially the PRP, the
Mhm.
plasma-rich platelets, I believe it
Platelet.
is.
It is
Yeah,
a mixed
because
one.
that really
Mhm.
enhances your body's healing procedures. So.
and it's really an interesting process where they actually take your own blood
Mm-hmm.
and they spin it, and then they put it on your face, and it's almost, it's like having
It's
a
like a
wonderful serum. It's like a
Mhm.
youth serum practically, and it feels really nice afterwards.
I think it's been used a lot in general healing care for a long time medically too, with wound care and,
Yes.
and hair restoration, all kinds of things. So,
Yes.
yeah, and I like the fact that it's coming from your own body, so
Exactly.
you can't be allergic to it.
Correct.
And wouldn't have
There's
a
no
reaction.
chemicals in it, right? There's
Right.
no reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. It's so much better than having to be knocked out.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I've had people ask me, that brings to mind something else, and they say, well, does it hurt? Well, no. Some people choose, I have had some Magic Lifts or filler without my skin being numbed. And if you're going to have a full Magic Lift, a lot of times the MAs will determine, you know what, it'll be better if you numb the skin. And it's just a
Mhm.
topical cream they put on. You wait, 20 minutes, it numbs up the areas, especially around the lips or through here, because that's a more tender area. You don't feel it. There's, it's not even as bad as going to the dentist.
I was just thinking of that as a comparison when they
Yeah,
numb you at the
it's not
dentist,
even
right?
that bad. within an hour or two, it's all normal. You're
Oh.
not drooling or anything.
Right.
Everybody is different. They all have a different level of pain tolerance. I
Right.
did feel some pain from the Fraxel
Oh, yeah.
and also the Dermapen. But, it's just minor discomfort, and it doesn't last longer than the time you're there. And it was just all in a day's work for me, because I thought this is so worth it.
That is. Right. Especially because you are on camera quite a bit,
Well-
right? So, I mean,
Well, you know what? It's interesting because that's what I didn't want people to notice from pictures I had posted on Facebook to, after the Magic Lift. I didn't want them to say, "Oh,
She has
you
something
look
wrong.
ghoulish," or "You look like a, the cat lady or something."
right.
Yeah, I didn't want anything so drastic.
Right, because I've seen those horrible, botched celebrity photos of facelifts gone awry, and those are scary.
They're very scary, and then you can't really reverse those.
No.
This actually can be, modified and reversed if you wanted it to. There's a lot more flexibility with the Magic Lift.
Yeah, that makes sense. And plus, you could have it touch up in the future, so if you wanted to go with a slightly different look, you can.
Right. If
Right.
you want Angelina lips, you can have that.
We don't recommend
No.
it.
No.
It's all in what you want.
Exactly. I talking about the Fraxel, after my first one and seeing such a dramatic difference in my skin tone and not have to wear as much makeup as I always thought I needed to, it just drove my confidence up. And you realize, okay, I can be like those other beautiful girls that just slap on a little bit and walk out of the house. To me, it's a maintenance thing I do every year now, the Fraxel. After summer, because, might as well let the sun damage what it's going to damage, even with sunscreen. It's just a yearly, that's what I do before the holidays, get it done.
Yeah, it sounds like it's well worth it.
Very.
Plus, it makes your morning quicker, right? I mean, you don't have to spend as much time putting on makeup and getting ready. You already did it.
goes to the confidence. Makes you feel confident, makes you feel pretty, makes you feel, and that affects your personality.
Yeah, I can see that. So thank you, ladies, for coming to talk about Magic Lift and Allure. I'm glad it's going so well, and you look great.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.